This is Impact on BBC World News. I'm Yalda Hakim. Let's turn to Iran now, where anti-government protests continue across the country following the death in custody last month of Mahsa Amini. These are the scenes overnight in the city of Sadanaj, the capital of Kurdistan province, the same province Mahsa Amini is from. Several gunshots can be heard as authorities dispersed demonstrators. The unrest began over the death of the 22-year-old who was arrested for allegedly breaking the country's strict dress code. Well, I spoke to Mahsa Amini's father, Amjad Amini. He told me the Iranian authorities aren't telling the truth about how Mahsa died. Have a listen.
All of the documents the authorities are showing are fake. They are lying. Mahsa didn't have any health issues. She only had minor surgery to remove an underskin cyst from her left eye 15 years ago. I don't know how they come up with these lies. I reject them all. My daughter was beaten, and that's the reason she died. This is what one of the specialists publicly said. He said she was beaten. If the officials were right, why didn't they let me see Mahsa's body for the last time before the burial? Also, Iranian television quoted the morality police, which claimed the officers' body cameras were not working when they arrested Mahsa. So there is no evidence that she was beaten. But Mahsa's cousin was with her. Her cousin remembers that one officer told her to step away from the scene so the body cameras don't capture her. Otherwise, they'd arrest Mahsa's cousin as well. So the body cameras were working and the authorities are lying.
Well, I also asked Mr. Amini about his final memories of his daughter.
I remember her eyes when she said goodbye to me for the last time. She was an angel. She was about to start her university. I thank everyone who supported us over the past month.
Mahsa Amini's father there, well, one of the most influential voices to have helped spark this protest movement is exiled Iranian journalist Masih Alinejad, who fled Iran in 2009. She's called on women inside Iran to record themselves defying the hijab rule and to send her the evidence. Thousands of women responded, sending videos like these, which she posted to her following of some 10 million people, most who live in Iran. Her activism has made her a target. She's living in an FBI safe house in New York and has received death threats on US soil. Well, Masih joins me now live from New York. Masih John, thank you so much for joining us here on the program. We're just hearing there from Mahsa Amini's father, who's still reeling. Obviously, it's now a month since she was killed. And he says the Iranian authorities continue to deny that she was killed in their custody.
Yalda Jan, you know that for years and years, when women get killed, men get killed, the regime deny it. But this time, the denial actually created a huge anger among Iranians. Mahsa was from Saqqez, and all the people who took to the streets from the beginning, they were waving the headscarves. And then it just expanded to different cities across Iran. Now, women are shoulder to shoulder with men wearing the headscarf. And as you know, Yalda, headscarf, it's not just a small piece of cloth. For Iranians, for women of Afghanistan, when we are forced to wear it. So that actually become like the main pillar of religious dictatorship. So for Iranian government, Mahsa's brutal death becoming a tipping point, and for Iranian women is a turning point, because now women and men are getting successful to tear this wall down. Compulsory hijab is like the Berlin Wall, and if we get successful, the Islamic Republic won't exist.
Mahsa John, the head of the judiciary of Iran is saying, look to the protesters or whoever has any issues, we're happy to talk. Let's talk this through. Do you believe them?
Not at all. The way that they talk, it's killing, it's murdering, it's torturing. So, I mean, strongly believe that they are now understanding that compulsory hijab is the weakest pillar of their ideology. So that is why they're trying to show the rest of the world that we are ready to talk. But how? You're killing teenagers. Nika was only 17-year-old. She got killed. Let me just give you one example that the way that they're talking to their own people. In 2019, there was massive protest, Aban, bloody November. They killed 1,500 people. What happened? Now that I'm talking to you, the family members of those people who got killed are still in prison. This is the way that they talk to people. And another thing, recently, the regime brought the family members of Nikasha Karami, 70-year-old girl who got killed, the family member of Sarina Ismailzadeh, 16-year-old girl who got killed in the protest, on Iranian national television and forced them to say that our daughters committed suicide.
But Masih John, I mean, this is, as you say, not the first time we're seeing demonstrations. We saw the Green Movement in 2009, which went on for months and months and months. And of course, the situation there in 2019, as you mentioned. Is this situation and is this time different to the previous times?
That's a very good question, Yaldajan. This is totally different. We never seen that in protests, women burned headscarves. And as I said that, this is going to be the end for a regime that actually trying to control the whole society through women. The Islamic Republic wrote their ideology on our body. And the only way that you understand this as the Islamic country is through us. But now, Mahsa's brutal death becoming it's Mahsa's name. It's a symbol for Iranian to have their own revolution. Let's just call it as it is. It's not going to happen overnight, but this is just the beginning to the end. And it's not just me. Millions of people believe in that this is different from 2009, from 2019, because people are aware of the risk. They're facing guns and bullets, teenagers taking to the streets, schoolgirls taking to the streets. These are like TikTok generation. And they say that the main slogan is like, woman, life, freedom, zan, zandagi, azadi. It means that they want to have a normal life and they have nothing to lose. Another slogan is that, mimirim vali zillat nemipazirim. It means that we're ready to die, but we are not going to live with humiliation. So that scares the regime. And that is why actually the Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei reacted to protests with fear. For 40 years, we had the fear inside us. Now this is the regime that they have fear of their own women who are leading the revolution.
Well, without naming you, Ayatollah Khamenei quoted you and said that you're an agent of the West in his most recent speech. And I just want to also clarify that, of course, we don't have evidence that Mahsa Amini died in custody. But do you live in fear, even though you're in the United States? You've had a number of threats. You live in an FBI safe house now.
Look, first of all, the word safe is too luxury for all of us who dare to speak up against Islamic Republic, against Taliban. I'm not safe, even on US soil, as far as the Islamic Republic is in power. But I'm not scared of my life. One of the most scariest thing for me, which I go to bed with nightmare, is like to see that the world close their eyes and try to get a deal with our murderers. That is scary. Otherwise, what is the difference between my life and Nikasha Karami and Pejman and Puya and Mahsa? Hadith was only 20-year-old Yaldajan. Before going to the protest, you know what she did? She filmed herself. And she said that when Iran when Iran changed, when we have regime change, when Islamic Republic is not in power, then I'm going to be proud of myself because I was part of this demonstration. They killed her. So I'm fighting for her dream. No, I'm not scared of my life, but here I want to use the opportunity to ask all the female politicians, especially from your country. They went to my beloved country, Iran. The UK female politician, they wore hijab in front of our murderers. Now this is the time that they have to take action. They have to burn headscarf, they have to cut their hair and cut their ties with the Islamic Republic while Iranian government killing teenagers, you know? And I'm miles away from Iran. I gave a platform to Iranian women 8 years ago when I launched my campaign against compulsory hijab, and I've been warning them about the danger of the morality police. This is the time. We need action.
Masih Alinejad, thank you very much for joining us here on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.